Okay,
You
we
got
should
1K,
officially be
Chin.
live. So
Cool. We are live.
should be live. Yep.
Yeah,
There we go. Okay,
I
cool.
see it.
All right, cool. Everything's there. Awesome. All right, I'll quickly put a tweet
Yes,
out
sir.
that we're live, and we can go.
What's up, YouTube chat? How y'all doing?
How y'all doing, man? Okay, get the old tweet out here. Wrong account. Oh, that's that whole little Sony video thing that I put on Twitter. That's actually doing pretty good. Okay. I could spell YouTube. All right, and then if everyone...
YouTube.
Okay, here we go then. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Go for it.
All right, everyone, what's going on here? Welcome back to the Waypoint podcast. My name is Tallen, joined by the crew, LittleBobby, LethalChin. How you guys doing?
Good.
Yo.
Yeah, yeah, doing great.
Chiz is like, good.
I took a nap, man. I took a good nap.
I rested myself.
I
I was
rested
back in
myself.
my chair, like I was like that for like 2 straight hours.
Dude, I don't know.
So,
I don't know how anyone can sleep in a chair to be like I cannot do it. Like I
This
don't
is a
even know how I
super
can sleep on
comfy
planes
chair.
sometimes. I'm just like, and plane chairs are
This chair
way
goes
less comfy.
all the way
So
back. This chair goes all the way back. It's so
Yeah.
comfy.
oh,
Secret
geez.
Labs.
Is it one of those like ergonomic chairs, or is this just like some IKEA chair or something like that?
It's not a. It's a gaming chair, but it's a Secret Labs gaming
It's a
chair. So they're really
gaming
made
chair.
like really firm and comfortable.
Oh, dude,
yeah,
those
Secret
are really
Labs.
good.
Secret Labs
Yeah.
has the best gaming chair,
Mhm.
Yeah.
definitely, like
Okay.
without a doubt.
All right. Well, if you
Come
guys,
on, Secret
so, all right. So glad Chin can sleep then in his chair. We'll all sleep a little bit better tonight, knowing that Chin himself can sleep better. But
What's
anyway,
up, Brian?
what's going on, Brian? So anyway, for everyone watching right now, if you guys have been, I guess, not paying attention to any gaming news or anything like that, Gamescom has been happening for the last 4 days. We actually got to send our own Sunblade to go there in person. You got to try some games and everything like that. So if you haven't checked it out already, check out our playlists titled Gamescom 2022. We have previews and everything. We've got a bunch of different videos and thoughts and things like that. So go ahead and check that out to keep up to date on anything that came out at Gamescom. And next month in September, which is in less than 3 days, we are going to be going to the Tokyo Game Show. So keep an eye out for that playlist and everything, talking about all the different games that are going to be announced there and all that fun stuff. So without further ado, we wanted to talk today on the Waypoint podcast about what games were shown off, just kind of our top picks in terms of what we thought about it. Were they good? Were they bad? Definitely a lot of different opinions when it comes to what was shown off, and then also just some extra news about what was shown around the same times as Gamescom. It like wasn't shown at Gamescom, but it was released within the same days. It's kind of like, okay, well, might as well talk about it because it was shown. So first thing that we want to go ahead and talk about though real quick, LittleBobby, I'll let you take the helm on this one, is Everywhere, which probably will get a name change because just trying to type everywhere, you're gonna get song names and everything like that just simply in Google or YouTube. So I'm predicting a name change, but regardless, Bobby, tell us a little bit about this. I don't even know what this is. What is this game?
Talon, I wish I could tell you, but I can't because we have no clue what this game is. Like the game has no identity from what I could tell by the trailer teaser thing they released. It looks like a third-person Fortnite kind of game where they have like dance parties and big events like the Fortnite movie things. But then there's like big fantasy weirdness, and then there's some crazy graphics for like a story, I think. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, the biggest thing about Everywhere that really threw up like red flags for me was just the fact that they were doing nothing but using buzzwords, trying to get people to buy into it. They were like, this is going to be an open world. This is going to be a player experience. This is going to be, like nothing. It's like nothing you've ever seen. And it's like, you've told us nothing about this game, but you're promising it's going to be like life changing, or you're trying to. Like, oof is the only word, because there was nothing there that was of any substance from what they presented.
I think someone commented on the video that you put up, and they made a good point that it looks like they're trying to do what PlayStation Home wanted to be a few years ago, where it's just like
I remember
general hub to do game stuff. And I was just like, but you say I can do everything, but that's not realistic. Like, show me what I can do, or like give me some good examples that make me excited to do things. Like, because you can do everything. I'm like, oh really? Can I make a bear with one testicle? Can I throw a bouncy ball at a wall and have it explode like a nuclear explosion? What can I do? That's everything. And I doubt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, Everywhere is I don't even know. The only thing I could really think of, right, is I said they're either trying to make Fortnite, which you're not going to do because Fortnite exists and it's better than anything you're going to put out. Sorry. Or they're trying to keep it vague and it's going to be like a blockchain thing. And that's going to just immediately die.
Painful death. Like,
there's still those people out there.
It has a really big GTA vibe, and I think it's because I think we talked about it too before. I think there's a lot of ex-GTA devs that are part of that studio that came together to make this game, and so like I feel like the first thing I could tell was like, this looks like a ripoff of like GTA or something, and I kind of feel like that's the direction they want to go with it. I feel like they've seen how successful GTA has gotten, right? The online component of it, because that thing is like so freaking like everybody's on that still, I think. And so I feel like they're trying to mimic something like that, but I don't know. I think just from my opinion on it, like, it's just one of those things where it's like, it's hard. It's hard to like try to do something that's already being successfully done somewhere else. And GTA Online, I think, has that kind of like market really good. And so for them to kind of try to like mimic something like that, it's like, I don't know. You got to try to show something that makes it kind of stick out. And from what we've seen, it's trying to do like a bunch of different things versus like sell us on maybe one in particular thing where it's like, oh, that's pretty cool, but you can also do this. Like, where we're just like, oh, okay, you can just do a bunch of different things. I don't know. But to be fair though, I think this is like an early build of it, that they're just they give us like a really like quick glimpse of like an early look at it. But I don't know. I feel like also like that was our opportunity to like really sell people on it. And I think a lot of us here are just kind of just like, nah.
Yeah, they haven't sold me on anything because I have no idea what they're trying to present. Like, you have to, when you're presenting a game,
your big ass water bottle taking up the whole screen. What the?
I can't help it, bro. And the thing is, I get so thirsty. I'm like, oh, let me just drink something.
I gotta drink it.
I gotta take a sip. After everything's like, I gotta take a sip.
Aw, Chin, look at your cute little water bottle. Lethal, bro.
Lethal just is gonna one day pull up a keg like a beer, but it's just water.
It's gonna get bigger every podcast.
It's
gonna get bigger and bigger.
Just a little bigger.
Oh
Lethal
my God.
I'm pissing like a squirrel and I don't know what it is.
I know.
3 gallons taped together of a water bottle with like a giant straw.
Oh my God.
Well, okay, there is an animation on our thing that just keeps flashing at the bottom, and it says the same name over and over. What is this?
Like, if we're going off topic for this, this is a little animated little slide thing that I made, or that I got and I tweaked it a bit. So basically, it shows your most recent sub, most recent super chat, and most recent member. So that's what it is.
So it's a live
stream. I thought it was the Twitch thing, and I to no. Hey, we're not on.
We're not even on Twitch, dude. No, we're on. We're on YouTube. So Johnson was our latest sub to YouTube. So the moment somebody new subs to the channel, that name will change.
Well, that's okay.
That's cool.
That's all,
so anybody who's watching, make sure you sub so you can get your name.
If you want to see your name popping up here all the time, so that everyone knows exactly who you are, then guess what? All you gotta do is hit that sub button.
Unsub and keep subbing after someone beats you.
There you go.
Chin, shut up.
Name on there?
We're figuring this out as we go, chat. So.
Okay, well, I was like, what is that, man? Is that just a static one that you found and just forgot to change or update? But no. Okay. I accept it. We can move on.
God damn it, Chin.
Anyway, everywhere. Looks
Goes from
bad,
the water
should
bottle
feel
to
bad.
a little random animation on screen.
I keep telling him he's got to focus.
Yeah, seriously, Chin. Focus up, buddy. Focus up.
Get the excitement here, okay?
I just saw
Yeah,
Chin's
yeah.
chat. What is that star thing?
Anyway,
That's
so
funny.
yeah,
What's happening?
I think I speak again. We've all just simply stated it here that we have no idea really what we can truly do in this game, what it's going to be. I mean, this is some game I see coming out potentially in like, I don't know, 2026 or something like that. Like, it's gonna be a while. The fact that all they said was simply fluff words, and they didn't show anything, right?
It was all
So,
fluff. It was all
it was
fluff,
all
buzzwords.
fluff,
Like,
and anyone who's fallen for it, like, please don't. Like, this is how they get you in the beginning. Like, wait to see what the gameplay actually looks like. Wait to see what the game actually can do and everything. Don't just take it by a few screenshots or some motion capture of something moving across the screen, right? Wait until the actual game comes out. Then make a decision for yourself is what I would say. So,
yeah.
But regardless, I've definitely seen a lot of, most of the internet's kind of just like, what the F is this game? Some people are hyped for it. I don't know how. I think it's more tied to what Lethal talked about, where you have the ex-developers from the Grand Theft Auto series, right? How they're the ones making this now. So probably just hearing that name alone will get some people hyped, I think, is what's going on.
Will hype themselves up for any amount of garbage.
Exactly, yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, no, it doesn't matter what it is. They will be,
Yep.
oh, I'm so hype about it. And I'm like, it's not even worth hype.
Yeah.
Like Jesus, come on, man. You know what's worth hype? God of War.
Yeah.
Hogwarts.
Oh, you gotta
Those
worse
are worth
hype.
hype. You know, it's not worth hype everywhere.
I was gonna say they did their job.
They did.
Yeah,
They did. They wanted to get the name out there.
Like, if anything, like, if you think about it, they did their job, because the game did at one point was like, it was like one that talked about games from Gamescom. So like, I don't know, like, in a way they also did their job of making people say, what the hell's everywhere? Like, now next year we're gonna be like, where the hell is this everywhere game? And then we're gonna see it and be like, oh shit, like, that's that everywhere game. Like, we're gonna be super excited for it. So like, it'll be one of those. Watch.
Hype, though? Is that the same thing, really?
I
know.
yeah. I remember,
Some people are gonna see it and be like, oh, it is
right?
nice.
All
Yeah.
press is good press, right? That's what
Yeah.
they
Like,
say.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but my favorite part of the whole presentation was like Jeff Keighley up there going like, so what is this about? Like, he's like, you're opening up my show and you have nothing. And you could see it on his face. He's just like, so what are you guys actually working on here? What is this? For the love of God, please say something.
Say
worth
something that's not
worth
fluff words.
something. Yeah, something of substance. The guy was like, well, we can't really talk about it yet, but it's really exciting. It's a big game, and we want players to play the way they want to play. It's like, just come
Bobby,
on,
Bobby,
man.
that look on your face right there, I was like, man, Bobby, you actually make a pretty good presentation person up on that stage right there. Did you go to the next thing and be like, guys, we want you to play our next game?
I want to be. That's what I want to be. The guys who have nothing to present, but they try and go out there. That's what I want to be. I want to be like, look, this game's coming out in 3 months. It's pretty fucked up right now. We don't really have a lot going on, but you should buy it because it's a video game.
You know what it reminds me of? You see SNL, that SNL sketch with Bill Hader and Kristen Wiig, and they're like the two like pop artists, and they're like, oh my god, we're here to present our brand new song. We've worked on this very hard, and then Kristen Wiig just improvs a song, and Bill Hader like has to like sing it along with her, even though he has no idea what she's actually gonna sing. So they're like half synced up the entire time.
Yeah,
But it's very obvious they don't know what the hell they're singing. I mean, I love that sketch. That's what it sounds like. Where it's just like you don't really have anything prepared. You're just kind of going off of nothing.
Yeah,
Pretty much. Yeah. That's pretty
Now,
much it.
speaking of hype, Lethal, you're hyped for a certain game.
Oh, we're jumping into it. Hell yeah, let's
We're
go.
jumping into it
Finally, like a game that we can talk about and actually be excited for, because everywhere is just
because
like,
we know what this one's
everywhere is currently nowhere. It's
Before
not,
we
not
do that,
doing
you
nothing
wanna
for
hate on the
us.
game
So,
real
like,
quick, because look at our chat. Because why do I have a feeling they're hyping up this game and it's going to be Destruction All Stars all over again? I hate.
oh my god.
Yes.
Don't even
That
bring
is-
that one up. We were
that-
excited for
you
that
were
one.
right.
We were
Remember how
hyped for that
excited we were,
one.
Lethal?
Dude, we were. We streamed it, dude. Yeah, we were so excited. We streamed it. We were like, "Oh, we're doing a stream day up. Play this." We all thought it was gonna be like, what's the game? Twisted Metal. We were like, "Yo, this is giving us Twisted Metal vibes."
Yep.
Like, we're hyped for this, and it was just like, "Nah, this ain't it."
We
fam.
were, dude. We were like,
It looked like it was
that
gonna be
month, we were like, dude, Xbox's free games suck. PlayStation, we're getting a
Right.
brand new free game.
A free
Brand new, hasn't
PS5
been
game.
released.
That was like the
Brand new
first one,
PS5
right?
Day one.
It was
So
one.
that
Of,
was.
I think it was the
Console
second month or
race.
something.
And it was
Okay.
terrible. It was
bad.
And it was
Yeah, it was really, really bad.
And we tried to find any positive about it.
We were like, well,
Everywhere-
this game mode. There's another game mode coming out. It wasn't even like out yet. It had like one game mode. We were like, oh, but it's supposed to be like 3. It's just, it didn't work.
Fat Samus in chat says everywhere looked like an infomercial. Yes,
Yeah, it
it
did.
fucking did. It was so bad.
It was bad.
I was expecting the 800 number to pop up on the bottom.
Dude. We can let's talk
Text
about
live to 1-800 and
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
learn about the new game in new amazing ways that only you can play the game the way you want it to.
Okay, we got to get the next one. Lethal, take us out. Take us out of this and into the next.
Let's talk about a game. Let's talk about a game that's actually hype. That's
Talk
super
about a
hype.
game.
And I hope chat. I hope chat is also excited for this game because if not, I'm be a little upset. But the next game we need to talk about is Lies of P because we've all seen Lies of P, the trailer.
Yep.
I think everybody here has seen it.
Yes.
Just watched it.
Yeah, I know you did, buddy. Good. I'm glad you did too because this
is like I
game.
just saw Gamescom.
This game is basically.
15 minutes ago. I just watched it.
Yeah.
Let me get to it. This game is. I forgot my train of thought. It's a Souls
This
game, right?
game
It's
is-
basically a Souls-like game. Okay, that's essentially what it is.
Tallen won.
But it's based off of Pinocchio. It's like an alternate take on the Pinocchio story, but like it looks like Bloodborne. And I think that's the
Yeah,
most important thing you need to take away is that this game is a Pinocchio. You're playing as Pinocchio, and it is a basically Bloodborne game, and it looks freaking awesome. And I think for a lot of people, this is like really cool. But then you get kind of scared because you're like, this isn't FromSoft behind this game. So like I think a lot of people automatically kind of get nervous. And so it's this like other studio that I was reading up on. It's like kind of like a brand new studio that's like doing a lot of really big games, or at least a lot of big of these like indie games. Like a lot of indie games nowadays, they look like AAA games. Like it's crazy how we look at indies and we're like, I don't even know where's the line anymore because this looks like as if this was like a PlayStation game or something. Like it's crazy. So like this looks really good from that studio. And no, it looks phenomenal. The gameplay looks awesome. They dropped an extended gameplay trailer for it. And I think a lot of people are just like, dude, this looks freaking awesome. The enemies look cool. Again, it has like the Bloodborne combat, so it's a faster paced kind of Souls-like game. But just so freaking sick, dude. It's Pinocchio. Like, I think that's kind of cool too. So like there's gonna be stuff from the Pinocchio like story that that kind of like intertwines with it. Like if he lies, they're saying like it's gonna change the directory of like your story progression. And I'm like, dude, that's so freaking cool. Like they're just doing some really cool, neat things where I think it's like this game, I think it's gonna stand out. And it's already trending. It trends everywhere. So like I already know like this game is gonna do crazy numbers when it does release next year. So it's gonna be super hype. I'm hyped about it. I don't know about you guys.
No,
All it needs to really feel complete is a giant whale at the end as the boss. Anybody in here or chat
Probably gonna have
seen
it.
the anime ReZero?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Tallen, you know the whale at the end of season 1?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's the boss I'm talking about. All right, we need this whale god.
I can see that.
From the
I can see it.
skies.
I can see that working out. Yeah. No,
Bro,
that
the
is-
big bad is like Geppetto too. So to me, it's like this is just the coolest thing ever. Like he's like his main objective, I think, or one of the main objectives is to like find your father. And then there's like a moment in the trailer where you see Geppetto, and it's like this stare down. You're like, dude, this is so weird. I'm thinking of like Disney's like Pinocchio in the back of my brain, and now I have to see Pinocchio fight Geppetto. Like what the hell is going on? Like it's sick. Like there's no way
Okay,
you don't
is
watch
also-
this.
This is also coming off the heels of like that new like Pinocchio movie that's coming out where Pinocchio's
Yeah.
like, Geppetto, I want to go see
Yeah.
the world. Oh my
It's crazy.
god! If they, okay, don't give me that face, Bob. Like you don't know what I'm talking about. Have you not seen that?
I've not seen that trailer.
Wait,
Dude, there's
you
like
haven't
two
seen the trailer
Pinocchio movies.
for the
There's like
haven't
two
seen
Pinocchio movies coming out.
No.
I think there's another Pinocchio movie coming out too. I'm
Yeah,
not
dude,
even-
there's like
there are.
two of them. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's like because that just went into the public domain, right? Just like Winnie the Pooh.
Oh.
Oh,
you
I
haven't
have
seen
no
the world
idea.
To see
Maybe.
Pinocchio, dude. Oh my god, he's the yassified Pinocchio. It's
No, okay, so here's what I need from this game. Okay, I need at
he's got
some
his list,
point-
folks. He's got his list.
I need some point, like Chin said, I need to fight a giant whale god. Okay. I need to like get turned into a donkey, right? And be able to run around and kick people to death. Otherwise, not buying. And then we need Cleo, right? The cat. We need that as a boss too, just like a giant cat that we have to fight.
Oh, come on. You don't want the cat as like your little sidekick minion or something like that?
No,
that like
no,
attacks
fuck that.
enemies
This
or
is
something?
like this is like Bloodborne. We need it. Everything is out to kill you. And then the last thing is at some point I need during a boss fight to be able to lie and have the nose grow and like go through their eye for the kill. That's it.
Okay, but there has to be one companion in the game. Jiminy Cricket. He has to.
Oh yeah.
But
He's gotta be like a regular cricket though.
No,
he's like this big. He's just on your shoulder.
SpongeBob when it like zoomed in on the butterfly and it was like super high definition and like just ugly and they were like, terrified.
That's what I need for Jiminy.
Like.
Yes.
Though the cricket needs to be like your guidance, your level up system. You know that needs to be. What was the maiden? Your maiden.
Oh yeah.
Like in Elden Ring. Jiminy Cricket needs to be how I level up and grow stronger. Okay,
I need to see that game with the Elden Ring music.
Like, I just watched the trailer and it. Oh my god.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Dude.
It looks amazing.
It looks sick.
Like the bosses they showed in there, I was just like,
Oh, dude, and the cool thing is like he can like customize his arm. I don't know what the hell they're doing with it, but it's sick. Like you can change his like, cause he's like a puppet type thing. Yeah. So it's cool to see them like be able to change his body parts to like put different weapons on. It's like, dog, this game is gonna be wild. I can't wait, dude. It looks so good.
The trailer music was sick. So
yes.
I'm so excited for their OST and like all the different boss themes and like.
but then you got to put the
games.
You got to put the main Elden Ring on there too. You know, the one where you start up the game, it's like bum bum. Put that in there. Just
throw
no reason.
Pop off. Just pop off.
Yeah.
Tallen, about you?
I mean, one thing I personally love the whole like memory sting that they showed off, because like it was showing the really cool arm mechanics and everything, like obviously for your armor and whatnot. But when I was watching, because I watched both the trailer and I watched Lethal talk about it and everything in his video, which by the way you can check out on the channel as well. But I really liked how it's going to be diving into these like different memories and everything. And so what I'm really hoping is that is going to be able to add a lot of different replayability and everything like that. Because I think the one thing that everyone can always be a little, I would say, cautious about with these types of games is how much replayability are you really going to get for these particular types of games, unless you are really dedicated to it, or the gameplay loop is so much fun that you just want to go back and play it over and over and over again. Whether it's like whether it's new game plus, restarting completely new, going into a brand new difficulty, but carrying things over from your normal playthrough and everything like that. So if they can really, obviously the gameplay has to be tight and everything, and if it's something similar to Bloodborne, then yeah, that's probably gonna be a lot of fun. But as long as the whole promise of being able to delve into like these different memories and everything, which is different story loops and everything, then I think it can really deliver on its promises. So that's what I'm personally most excited for. But at the same time, I don't want to say like, I'm gonna be very cautious about it, but just something like that's gonna be like the big detail I'm looking for. The moment they show me, and not tell me, show me, what exactly that is, then I'm like, sold, done. All right, cool.
Yep.
We're good to go.
Yep.
So
fair.
Yeah, and that is fair. Like, to me, it seems like they're really trying to capture that FromSoft feeling.
Yeah.
So I feel like the systems in the game, they are going to work hard to make them like FromSoft, so that you want to like, oh, I'm going to try out this different path, right? Because they said the lies change the story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's going to be
you
some
do that,
story
and then you can have different builds that you can make ideally. Right, different ways to play. That's all. that replayability is a huge thing, at least for me. So
yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. So
yeah, the challenge too. If it's as hard as it looks, right? Because it definitely gives off Soulsborne vibes, right? So if it really has that challenge, that's going to be a huge drawing point for people to replay it. Higher difficulty, yada yada yada. At least for me, like that's what keeps me going back to Dark Souls. Like I just like the harder difficulty. Try it again, see if I can best it even better.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. So
what's next?
Next game that we're going to go over, Bobby, I'm going to let you take this away as well, because you know more about it, and that's going to be the Dead Alive 2 was shown off at Gamescom. And
Okay, so
Say Dead Alive first.
Dead Alive?
Heard you.
I know. I was like, Dead Alive.
Dead Island 2.
Dead Island
Dead
2,
Island,
whatever.
yeah.
I don't play these games.
Okay.
So
So if you guys never played Dead Island, I think Chin, you played Dead Island with me,
it's
right?
gonna be Dead Alive.
Dead Island.
Yeah. So Dead Island is like a first-person zombie slaying RPG set over a big island in like the Caribbean or something. I don't remember. But I do remember that game, Dead Island, was broken. It was one of the most broken games I ever played. Enemies would fall through the floor. It was a looter like Borderlands. It was like Borderlands with zombies, right? You had 4 classes. Each one had a specialty. It's like a melee character, like an explosives character, a gunfire character, and like, I don't know, like an acrobatics character or something. All really cool. It was really fun. It's the most broken game I've ever played for that long, except for Destiny 2. But yeah, so Dead Island is super fun. There's so much fun stuff. By the end of the game, at least in the first one, you could get up to just being so OP. You could find blueprints for weapons, and then you go find like a really solid baseball bat, and then you hook like the electricity to it, and it would make it like this super OP thing where you like hit the zombies and they just go flying through the air, electrocuting each other as they fly by, killing a bunch of other zombies. It was so much fun. So Dead Island 2, it looks like they're keeping that sense of fun, and I'm so excited because I've been waiting for this game for like 10 years. Like, Chin, you were in high school when Dead Island came out, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why you just played Dying Light, because that is Dead Island 2.
Effectively, yeah. It is.
There's a lot of
The thing I
games
worry about
similar
Dead
to that.
Island is that I haven't seen much on it recently, so I don't know if like they're gonna introduce parkour into it, because I don't know if I can go back to their formula without parkour. Like
The thing about Dying Light versus Dead Island is like Dead Island, it had like some serious stuff in it, like when you played it, but it never took itself very seriously. Whereas I feel like Dying Light does take itself pretty seriously. Not that it's like overly serious, but it's like, this is a real story, you know, we're trying to take seriously. Whereas Dead Island is like, here's the story, but also all this dumb shit happens while you're playing. Like,
lightning song of the first one was "Who do you voodoo, bitch?" You know?
yeah, like that right there.
Well, like,
That right there just shows you the attitude of that game, and that game was all about just like, it's fun. Yeah, we're trying to tell a story, but it's fun. And the second one, it looks like they're taking that same attitude of the trailer. The dude getting up, he's got like a drink, and he's like, like you could tell he's hungover, and he goes out and he's like, all right, and he just goes and just brutally beats a bunch of zombies to death with the gun, barely even shoots at him, just takes the gun and just beats them. And that's great. It looks like it's going to be so much fun. I love looters, right? Tallen, you and me play Destiny. Like, I've played Warframe for hundreds of hours. I've played Borderlands for hundreds of hours. Like, I love looter games, and Dead Island is a looter. And if they keep that the same, I'm probably going to put several hundred hours into Dead Island 2. Just because, like, I like looters, and zombie stuff to me is fun.
Understand?
You know?
Yeah.
It looks like it reminds me. I feel like I played this game. I think I'm in the realm of like Chin. Like I'm in the same space where like I think the first one came out like back when I was old enough to play it on like 360, I think, or Xbox.
Yeah,
I feel like that's when the first one came out. I was in high school too, I think, or middle school, one of them. This is a game I think I played with friends. I feel like I also confuse this for like Left 4 Dead for whatever reason. And so I feel like when I think about Dead Island, I'm like, did I actually play that one? I'm not too sure. But I do feel like it falls into this thing where like I hope it has something to like identify it a bit more. I don't know. I feel like that era of zombie games is like gone. Like I feel like we've kind of like gotten to this like bigger like AAA kind of level of like Last of Us kind of, where it's like if it's not something like Last of Us or even like Days Gone,
Days
it's kind of
Gone,
like,
yeah.
I don't know if people, or at least I should say me, I don't know if I really care for something like that. Like I'm trying to think of a game that reminds me of. It's a Capcom game. What's the game where Capcom where you just kill people, like kill zombies? Sorry,
Oh,
kill zombies.
the in the mall.
Yeah, yeah.
Dead Rising.
Dead Rising, yeah,
Is that
that's
what it is?
Yeah.
Like it reminds me a bit of
It's
like
better.
Dead Rising, where like it's just like a very funny, just kill a bunch of zombies and whatever the case may be with some whatever story that it is. And then it made me even think about like Back 4 Blood. Remember Back 4 Blood came out like a couple of years, 2 years ago at this point, maybe. And like
Yeah.
that
A year
game,
ago.
that
It's
game,
last
it's like
year.
that game. I felt like it was talked about and then it disappeared. Like it came out on Game Pass. I never heard a thing about it afterwards. Like I don't know if that style of zombie game still exists because it's like I think Dead Island is like a co-op, right? It's like it's usually like a co-op. zombie,
Well, because
whatever.
Dying Light 2, like it's the RPG aspect to it that's gonna save it.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
because Back for Blood died off because it was not fun the way it was set up. Like it's fun, but they didn't know how to balance the gameplay and difficulty at all. And
It was
Yeah.
so punishing,
the
even
most
on the
frustrating-
easiest mode.
yeah, you got the most frustrating experience for a game that should not have been close to that hard. That's
I
what
remember-
killed
yeah.
Back for Blood.
Remember, Chin, we played through some. You helped me play through some of the levels for our review on Direct.
Yep.
And me and Chin and one of his friends, was it Gwen?
Francisco, yeah.
Oh, it was Francisco, right? So he had his friend Francisco help us. And Chin's like a first-person shooter, sweat on controllers. I was playing it on PS5. His friends are sweat on controllers. So I'm like, okay, these two big chungus, BD energy guys on controllers are gonna help me, like, because I'm just on the struggle bus, and we're all three there, and like we come out of like the start of a level and we just all instantly die. Like Back for Blood failed because they didn't balance it right. It's exactly what Chin said. Like if you play Left 4 Dead and you play on normal, like I used to be able to do that. Left 4 Dead 2, play through entire levels on like normal and easy with just like a pistol. And just go like do like, and it's fine, right? On this one, it was like you need every single thing just on the normal difficulty, right? That's why that died so fast. I think that Dead Island 2, so many people are gonna have fond memories of it, and especially if they're doing it with one of the newer engines. Like if they're doing this with UE5, they're gonna be able to have so many zombies that it might be like Days Gone, which I think would be awesome. They would have to change a few things up in the game because there was like weapon like durability, even with guns and stuff. But if they do that and they can really swarm you, because right, Lethal said it was on the 360 and PS3 days, the first one. This one comes out and it's really built to just have tons of zombies. I think it's going to be all sorts of fun. You're going to be able to like throw bricks at them, make Molotovs, get those OP weapons, and just demolish like waves of zombies that come at you. And to me, that's a good time. Give me that and some loot. I'm happy. Like I still play Avengers, so I'll play anything
was like
with loot.
$2 online recently.
It
Oh my
was
God.
$2, except the
So mad I
shipping was
missed
like
it.
$10.
That's how they get
You could have got the Steam, right?
Yeah, I wanted to get the Steam. I wanted the Steam Deck. I wanted it for my Steam Deck. I was
Well,
like,
it's on
dude,
it's on
$2?
it's on
I'm so mad.
it's on PS5, right?
Oh, yeah. I have it there.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be like, extra and have it on my Steam Deck because
Yeah, I got Guardians of the Galaxy. It was a good purchase.
You gotta
Yeah,
make use of your Steam Deck. You paid money.
Yeah, man. That's
Exactly.
it, man. I wanted to get Guardians on there too, but they dropped it at like 2:00 in the morning, and I was like, bro, people on the East Coast were sleeping at that time. It was like, I think it was like 2 a.m. like Pacific time or whatever, and I was like, what the hell? I gave
I
up.
know. I was up and saw Wario 64. Shout out to that guy.
And you guys were awake, and I was like,
Legend.
son of a. I was like, I must have just missed it. I was like, come on. But yeah.
All right. So the next one.
So our next game that we're going to talk about is, I was kind of showing off just a little bit. We talked about it a little bit already, but Hogwarts Legacy was shown off a little bit more at Gamescom, which unfortunately, if you guys did not hear, it has been pushed back to, I believe, January 26th is the release date, I think.
I think it's like January 20.
Guardians is goated. You're right, Brian.
Yeah.
I thought it was oh yeah, it's like the last week of
It's
January.
like the last week of January, right before the crazy month that we know as
Wait,
February.
it's February 10th. February 10th.
February 10th. Never mind.
Oh,
Okay.
so it's coming out in February too.
Oh, goody. Another February game. Yay. Just what we
Yeah.
all need.
The second February in a row of just everything.
Oh, god damn it.
Last February almost killed
Imagine-
me.
Yeah,
Imagine
last
how I
February
missed
almost
the
killed
job.
me, and this year's probably going to kill me. So, but I guess at
Yeah.
Gamescom they did get to show off some more gameplay and everything like that, and so I think we finally get to see. We have an idea at least how this game is going to play. We're not really sure how the whole sorting hat into your houses is really going to work. I mean, probably you're just going to pick the house that you want to be in, but just what are your guys' thoughts on this? I mean, anything Hogwarts, Harry Potter related is always a big thing, but we've never had a good video game for it, right? So
Not a great one. There's been some that are like, this okay, like I worked at EA when EA had the licensing rights. They made some that were like, I was like, okay, if I was like 10, I would probably think this is pretty cool. It's not like terribly buggy. It's simple. But like, yeah, now because a lot of Harry Potter fans are grown,
yeah,
right?
we're full adults now, right? Like we're all
yeah, so many Harry Potter fans are adults. Now they're making this big, huge like RPG, and I'm like, you know what? I'm here for it. I'm cool. Like, I'm down with a Harry Potter Hogwarts RPG. Let me go in the room of requirement, find the one with all the toilets. Like, you know, let me like cast fireballs at people. I want to punch a troll in the face with like a book. You know, it looks like it's gonna be fun.
Hole.
Yeah, exactly. Expecto, like, you know,
Patronum.
phlegm. Expecto phlegm, you know, from his nose.
Yeah.
Panonis? I don't know. I don't know.
I
don't know, man.
It's just like I don't know. I don't know.
Looks like a fun game. Cast some spells. I'm probably not gonna buy it when it releases. I'll wait. But
Is it on
does
Game
look very
Pass? Is it on Game Pass? I don't
No, no.
okay. All right.
that'd be too.
It's too big. Yeah.
I
Too
think
big.
PlayStation got the marketing rights to it, so now they.
Oh yeah, the
Oh.
Lego
They were-
games. You're right, Brian.
They were like, this game is gonna sell
well-
crazy. It's Harry Potter, so you know this game is gonna sell ridiculous amounts of copies.
Right.
And not to mention, I think they even have like exclusive level content on PlayStation too. So like, that's not happening. It won't be on Game Pass.
Brian is incorrect in chat though. Brian, Prisoner of Azkaban was an amazing Harry Potter game. All right, I got to write the Griffith.
Terrible,
Is that what it's called?
terrible movie
I
though.
don't know.
Griffith?
Is that what it
was
is? I don't know.
The Kathy Griffith?
Was that the one with
Big
the
flying
uncle?
Pegasus looking
Andy and
Sirius
Griffin?
Black?
Yeah, Sirius
Griffin,
Black
not
was
Griffith.
Prisoner of Azkaban.
Andy Griffith. Yeah, the Andy.
Yeah, I was like the Andy Griffith.
Okay,
That
showing
game
your
was fun 'cause
ages
you got
here,
to,
folks.
You got to
Let's-
roam around the entire castle. The Prisoner of Azkaban was a super fun Harry Potter game. That was a really good one. Number 4 sucked though because it was like mission based, and you just kind of went
Oh,
into some missions and came back to the cat. Like you didn't get to explore everything like you did before. And then I don't think they made. They might have made the 5th one, but I don't think they made any after that.
Did they? I
So
feel like they
this one's
stopped
exciting.
after
They
that.
stopped.
I want
because
to
they probably
re-explore
weren't
the
making
castle
money on
in
it,
full HD.
Yeah.
No, when I
They
worked
might
at
have, I don't know.
EA had the rights, and they made Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince while I was there.
Oh, okay.
So
Never saw
those
them come
games
out, but
kept
okay.
coming out.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
weren't great. They weren't the worst thing in the world, but they
Shocker,
weren't
a
great.
movie/book video game that has to come out every year was not very good.
Sorcerer's Stone,
Hey.
Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, goated Harry Potter games. Like awesome. They knew what they was doing back then.
Read the books.
I keep saying the best video game or best movie adaptation video game is the Chronicles of Riddick, and no one's going to change my mind.
I can't
Okay,
think of another
Bobby,
one.
okay.
Anyways,
I don't think I
Let-
can play that.
SpongeBob the movie, the game. Okay.
Okay, I think we officially have to move on when Chid's bringing that up
for
now.
DS.
Let's go on to our next.
It was on
Let's go to our next
PS2.
topic. Lethal.
Hold on, this is one for Chin to rant.
Oh.
No,
No.
I see him cutting in.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah, we're not going into. Yeah, we got our. Well,
We got another.
original PlayStation turned Xbox, turned back to PlayStation now. Fanboy
Never.
here.
I never left PlayStation.
Hey, we have the clip on Twitter. Everyone go
I have
check
the
it out
clip.
right now. 59 Direct Twitter.
Listen,
And
I'm
yeah.
tired of the comments being like, "Oh, they're so like PlayStation people. Like we love Xbox. It just don't got nothing. We keep saying the same thing. There's
Yeah.
nothing to talk about on the Xbox side. We can't help it."
Yeah, that's what I'm
God.
saying. Like, and I'd be the first to admit, I even said in the last video about a topic we're going to talk about in a little bit here, that we are very much like PlayStation, basically fanboys. Like all 4 of us love PlayStation. We've had PlayStation forever. Me and Chin literally grew up with a PlayStation.
I
Like,
did. I cuddled it every night in bed.
I remember,
I wouldn't be
yeah, he did.
surprised.
He fed it, he watered it.
Fondled its power hole. Don't get silent after that. Keep
Yo,
going.
you're just so silent. No, we had to let you bask in that one, bro.
Yeah, you had
You
to.
had to get your
He
moment.
just
for that
sweating.
one.
He's just
Clips.
sweating.
You had to get your moment
I
for
say
that
experimental
one.
phrases every now and then. You gotta just mow through
You
them,
just
okay?
you deserve it.
We're-
Chat should be butchering you right now. Come on, Chad. You should have caught it.
No,
Clip
yeah,
it,
no,
clip
sit
it,
on
clip
those.
it.
okay?
Oh my God.
Sit on those.
But no, yeah. Xbox needs something for us to talk about. To be fair, we skipped over this, and I should have mentioned it. Lies of P is a day one Game Pass game, so look,
It is,
I might
yes.
might actually have to
Game
renew
Pass.
like my Xbox.
Yeah, it's a day one
subscription.
Game Pass.
It's a day one Game Pass,
But
so like
it's
I
still
might
not a
have to do
Microsoft
that.
first party.
Oh, it's not. But
No.
hey,
Like-
trying to.
Yeah, that- when we-
On my PC
like-
for free or for $3
Yeah.
a month. So.
Oh yeah, there you go. There's that too.
It's $1 for 3 months. What are you talking about? They're
Wow.
trying real hard
Yeah,
to
if I
keep
make a new
people on that
account every
service this
time, I'm
year.
not trying to do that.
Yep.
Speaking
Anyway,
of which, though,
Lethal, let us know
at the
about these.
PlayStation.
Let us know about this controller here, because this was actually shown at Gamescom. Like, it was part of the opening night.
This was a big surprise.
Yeah. This is
a huge surprise.
kind of a weird thing. Not gonna lie. So let us know.
I think it was a big surprise because a lot of people, like a lot of us, are getting ready for the big epic PlayStation showcase event. Like, we know it's September, we know it's coming, right? We have a topic that we're going to talk about where we know PlayStation's going to get some fire for, and we know they have to counter it with something, and that would be a dope ass PlayStation showcase event in the next like week or two, because it's been speculated, but this was a surprise to drop here at Gamescom rather than them not just saving it for their own thing. But this is dope. This is something that I know personally I have been waiting for a long time, and I'm sure you guys were also waiting for it, and anybody who's just a hardcore PlayStation person wanted something like this, maybe even back in PS4 gen, which I don't even remember if they had one in PS4. I can't actually even remember.
Sony.
I don't say
They had the back.
I don't think they ever did.
No,
At the end.
I don't remember.
They might have had like
Other
other
companies
companies, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. They might have
Yeah.
had other companies do it, but not their own internal made one. So.
Yeah,
And by that, I mean a Pro Controller. I guess we're not even talking about the main thing. That it is the DualSense Edge, aka it's just a Pro Controller for PlayStation 5. It's going to do all the things that a Pro Controller you'd want to do, right? It's going to have like adjustable analog sticks. It's going to have adjustable triggers. And by that, I mean you can literally change the analog sticks. I think you can change the caps. You can also change like the travel distance. They call it dead zones. You can change how much, how quick you can go from like, from left to right, or again, the adaptive triggers, how quick you can press them and stuff like that. And it has a cool color scheme. Look at that. Just, come on.
Yeah,
The black and the white to me is just, it's sexy. That is a sexy ass controller. And I want that. I want that in my collection.
I mean,
sitting
compared
on my
to what we
desk.
currently have
Yes.
right now, right? So here's the PlayStation 5
Yeah,
controller, and then there's
Yeah.
on the
Black
center
and white
screen. That's
touchpad.
Yeah. So I think the big thing is
that's-
the middle. It's that's where you can tell for sure.
that's
It's the
so
middle
you can
tab.
visually identify it quicker.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Plus,
You
I think the design of the lights too, like on the controller, the regular DualSense, it just goes kind of straight down. But in the, I think if I'm not mistaken, on the DualSense Edge, it kind of like does like a curve in a little bit too. So it has like a really cool, cool design to it that makes it does stand out a bit. But I'm excited. I mean, even the triggers themselves, they have like little rubber grips on it, and if you look really closely into like the little rubber grips on the actual triggers, it's like PlayStation symbols. Like they just do like PlayStation. I gotta say, their design team is killing it. Like this controller DualSense is already dope as hell. Like with the ingrained like symbols on it, but with the triggers now getting the little grips on it that are the actual symbols too of the PlayStation controller. It's just cool, man. It's just cool stuff like that where I'm like, yo, their design team is killing it this gen. I think we all thought like the big fat white PlayStation. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Maybe some people still think it's ugly and whatnot, but like just everything else that they're putting with it, with the faceplates and everything, it's coming together, and I think it's actually really cool. But this,
I did find the Xbox fanboy. Big fat PlayStation, huh? You like calling your PlayStation fat? Also, this does curve. it goes in, like it's not just straight down.
Does it?
If you actually used your PlayStation, you'd know that, and you'd see that this does indeed. If you got off your Steam Deck every once in a while, you know.
Whoa. What are you talking about? I said the DualSense Edge curves in. You don't. You have that one too?
It goes, boing. This is not.
No. Look at the video of the DualSense Edge. No.
I think he's talking about it's got like a curve.
I swear it has like a curve in it. Like there's like an extra curve at the bottom of it. But
okay.
We'll have to confront it. We'll have to.
I think I can
We'll have to
see it from the
confirm that.
picture.
Like it just looks like it comes diagonally in more, like way more in,
I see
rather than
what
just
you're
the
saying.
way.
I see. What
Yeah,
I
do you
guess
not,
I
buddy?
see
Do you,
that.
buddy? Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
If they,
I don't know.
you know,
We'll come
here,
afterwards.
I'm gonna give you guys a promise. If this thing is at Tokyo Game Show when I get to go to the press event and everything, then I will take some pictures and videos and I will send them to you guys, so then we can be like, okay, look, it is actually like this.
Look at this. Hold on.
Okay,
I'm sending an image in our chat. No, I'm sending an image in our chat.
I'm seeing what you're talking about.
Because I want to call Chin out, bro. Hold on. Let me get this man. Let me get this guy again. Chin, look at this. Look at
That's not
this.
even.
Look at this.
What is this? That's not even the right thing.
What did I send you? That's not it.
You sent the
I didn't
link for
send him the right
figuring out the
thing.
video we used earlier.
That's not it. That's not it. This is it right here. I need you to open up that link,
Let me
Chin.
look at the.
Open up that link
DualSense
and just go down just a second to see the cover of the video, and you don't tell me that design at the bottom there is different for the lights, right? On the cover of the video.
It is. The lights go out.
I want to hear Chin say it. I want to hear Chin say it. I want to hear Chin say it. Let's go. Say it on live camera. You're live. You're live on direct YouTube channel. Say it. Look at that. Tell me that it's not the same. You can see
I will
it.
concede this one that Lethal
All right.
is
good.
right. for once in his life that it
I'm the
does
PlayStation guy, dog. I am the
stand out a
PlayStation
little
guy here,
bit.
buddy. I am the PlayStation guy
He's
here,
a
all right?
fake
All right?
PlayStation guy, but in
I'm
this
the
case,
fake one, okay.
in this case, I have to take the L. I have to take the L here. Don't sip from your.
In most cases.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is the
crazy
power
thing.
of drinking a lake's worth of water.
Oh yeah, bro. My mind is on a different level. I'm not even here. I'm not even here. I'm not even here, bro. Like I'm not here right
He's
now.
a force projection like Mark Hamill at the end of
Yeah.
The Last Jedi, you know.
All right,
Oh, man.
quick
I
question.
think we
My
derailed,
quick
but
question,
go
which I
ahead.
think a lot of people are also been asking though, is how much is this thing gonna cost? I mean, a normal PlayStation 5 controller right now costs you what, $60?
No,
They
I think
won't do
like
more than 150. They won't do more than 150. It's $70 for a DualSense. No, because if they do, why would I not order a Scuff?
That's true.
Yeah.
Because this one's made by Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a Scuff is wireless. Like Scuff
And
is
not only-
wireless. It has
not
everything.
only is it made
on
by
it.
Sony, but
And-
their fan base will do it. We'll buy it. We will buy it.
Well, yeah, people will buy it, but if I'm paying $200, I'm gonna buy a Scuff because not only can I get everything that this controller has, but I can also get a custom color instead of just white. Even if they
You know
do,
what's funny? The Scuff's actually licensed by Sony, anyways, too. So
yeah, it is licensed, but Scuff, like if they're charging as much of as a Scuff, like I'm gonna get the Scuff with like a rad pattern on it. Like they'll make you a Scuff with like a Spider-Man pattern on it. I'll get that. Why would I not get that?
yeah.
Like
this should definitely sit at 150. It's just
Yeah.
Remember what they just increased the price of, though.
We'll talk about that later. We got that. We got that coming up.
That one.
Coming up. Look at that.
I mean, maybe that's why they raised it because they want to sell this at a good price. I mean, I don't know. I don't know their business strategy.
Yeah, there it is. There's the Sony pony in you. I see.
Yeah.
I see. it.
I'm just saying, maybe there's a reason.
she's like, you're a fake PlayStation guy. Oh, look at you defending Sony and what they do.
Maybe they want to drop the PSVR 2 at a better price. That's why. I don't know.
I'm charging you more for the PlayStation because you called it a fat PlayStation. You insulted it.
All right. Why don't we move?
Listen,
Why
I
don't we move
won't
away
lie.
from the
the
controller
one with the disc
stuff?
model, it looks like it's pregnant. We've all said this. It looks like it's big. Like that extra bump there doesn't look right, but it is what it is. We'll
There's
talk
more to
about
love,
that.
okay?
You're right. That's true. That's
It's
fair.
big processors, okay?
All right.
That's
Let's
fair.
let's move
Fair.
on. Let's move on to the next topic. Next one, we're gonna talk about Chin. Let's have some fun here. Or spoken.
I know what we're talking about, and this is why I can't be called a Sony pony. I'm not gonna lie, I've been reading some of the comments on the YouTube video, and I knew those comments were coming. Because there's people like Lethal who will defend this game to his last dying breath.
Listen,
even though it looks,
I'll let you
even though it
talk.
looks
I'll
like
let you talk.
a snooze fest. Okay,
I'll
no,
let you
I'm
talk.
screwing with you, Lethal. Not really though.
I'll let you talk,
You like
dog.
your taste.
You're talking about Red Dead 1 that you loved it so much and it's so boring. But
Red Dead 1 is a masterpiece. We're spoken. So okay,
Yeah.
let me. This game looks mid. I'm gonna say it. Like it does. I'm reading the comments and I'm laughing because people are like, "Wow, you have a really strong opinion at this game," and I'm like, "Did you actually watch the video?" Because they're not that strong of opinions. It's that the combat looks fun, which I did say. The game looks visually beautiful, except for like some animation things, like some interaction between characters just look fun.
The facial animations are weird.
the character
Really
models
bad.
are questionable. You can say that. That's fair.
Yeah,
So,
I can easily say it. Yeah.
Like the NPC models, like, come on, what is it, Skyrim?
Yeah.
Like,
Like-
come on. Stop.
But I'm bored. It's boring. Let's call a spade here. It looks boring, and no amount of flashy combat can change my mind, because that's just not what drives me to a game, right? Like I still suck off is Knights of the Republic, you know, and that's not combat oriented, that's choice oriented, that's story oriented, and like I do enjoy the gameplay, but like people are like, oh, you need to. I think some guy told me I needed to get new glasses.
Yeah, I'm looking.
I saw
Dude,
that comment.
I'm looking.
What's that guy
I'm looking
saying?
at the
No,
comments
don't
right now. I'm
offend
just
this
like,
man. He was like,
man,
"You need new
fanboys
glasses."
came out in
It was
droves
I
for
hope
this
he's watching.
one.
I hope he's watching, bro.
Alan, make sure to heart that comment.
Yeah. But I'm not. I said I love him for that comment.
We approve roasting of Chin.
man.
Well, it was funny because I'm like, man, I gave compliments where compliments were due. There's just not a lot that was due to compliment. And like, I don't know, it does not look worth $70. And you know, we talk about Xbox not having games, but it's like, I can't praise Sony for having a game that looks boring. I'd rather have nothing. I just would, because
Well, here's the thing, and we'll talk about this in a minute. Like, think about, we had some early stuff on because I was just thinking about this, because you were right, and I even told you after you came downstairs, we were in the kitchen, he was telling me, he's like, did you see that Forspoken trailer? And I was like, no. And he was like, it looks so boring. It looks so empty. Like, the combat looks cool. He literally said everything he said in his video. He said it to me, and I was like, make a video. But he brought it up, and so I finally got around to watching it, and I was like, yeah. Like, I feel like he's right about all of it. Like, it looks like you can see her moving through the big, giant open world, and it's like nothing around, like no enemies, no like really, like there's not like stuff that's like drawing your attention. It's just like open world, right? The combat when it happens does look cool, but it's like there's like 3 or 4 enemies.
It was like, set points. Like it was
Yeah.
like, oh, you have to get to the mission to find enemies. And I'm like, bro, you know how many hours I put in Elden Ring, and hell, every 3 feet I had to fight like freaking dragons, as she would say in Forspoken, because the dialogue is horrendous. That's
The dialogue
like,
is
I really wanted to give the dialogue a benefit of the doubt when I saw like Twitter going off on it, and I was like, okay, but like people love to complain about things. People love to, you know, to like, oh, this is bad. Find any excuse they can to call something like woke or something like mid or dumb. And I was like, all right, it can't be that bad. And terrible. It's awful. It's bad. It's
narrator.
generic.
It was that bad.
It was that bad. And people want to defend it and say that I need new glasses. No, you need new ears, Buster Brown. Like that, it is.
Wow. He calls me old, by the way, Chad. Hey, Buster Brown. You silly goose. What's up with all this malarkey?
Whack, okay? All right, okay, Joe Biden, malarkey, like.
Who's coming to the hooskow? Like,
I don't know, and like that's the only thing where it's like you wander around and there was like nothing, and like there's some chests at high points.
I almost
and there's like that's it, and then but the traversal looks cool though. It does look cool, right? And I was saying that, you know, it's kind of like Spider-Man, right? Where Spider-Man, there's a bunch of nothing, but I don't know. It's Spider-Man though. You can forgive Spider-Man for having less things around it, right? Because you're swinging around like Spider-Man.
I don't.
Spider-Man,
I'd argue Spider-Man had a lot to do in its open world, though. I think it did.
Every 5 seconds there's a crime, even after you've 100%ed the game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Like,
let me. So if Chin can stop his you know, voice for for a couple minutes. When I watched the trailer, I think it's unanimous that the combat itself looks flashy as hell and looks really cool.
Yeah.
Like no one is saying it doesn't, right? And the traversal, especially with going from one distance to another, looks really cool. My thing though, and I don't know if this has to do with how Square made the trailer or if this is really what's in the game, because again, we can only go off of what we see in the trailers, but it's almost like they just simply picked the most generic part of the game where there's no enemies around or something. Or whenever they made this trailer, they told the developers, okay, hit the little switch that turns off your enemies unless we need to show off some combat. So it makes me wonder, is this open world truly as empty as the trailer is showing it, or will it actually have more enemies as the game goes on? Because this is a PlayStation 5 only game, right? It's not on the last gen consoles, and you have the chance to take advantage of that system power, right?
Yeah.
But again, just go watch the trailer, right? I'm not talking about the dialogue. I'm not talking about the combat itself, like how good it looks. Just look at the open world. When they literally stood up on the cliff and they looked around like this, you saw nothing. Yes, you saw cliffs, you saw trees, you saw environments, yes, but you didn't see things. There wasn't enemies just randomly wandering. I mean, okay, let's put it to a game that's gonna get compared to a lot, whether it's Elden Ring or the one I was thinking about personally is Horizon. Right?
Yeah.
Horizon, you go into the world and I can go up onto a cliff and I can see giant mechanical dinosaur that way, I can see lizard that way, I can see whatever, right? I can see it across the landscape.
See a settlement, you can see like someone at a fire.
I see exactly. I don't see any of that in Forspoken. So again, I don't know if it's because Square said turn this off so we don't spoil things, and then all of a sudden in September's Tokyo Game Show they're gonna show off everything and be like, okay, well, you know, Chin was wrong, we're all wrong and everything like that, right? But we can only go off what they've shown so far. And this game is supposed to come out early next year, right? It got pushed back to early next year.
It got pushed back like 5 times.
Right.
So one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say one thing about that, though, and this is what I was gonna mention earlier, is that there is one game. I don't know if we were still planning to talk about it, but there is one game that had a very similar thing, and then all of a sudden it got a new trailer, and everyone was like, "Oh shit!"
That is the next thing we're gonna talk about. So again,
okay.
So again, like Bobby said, though, it could be something like that. Again, we will never know what goes behind the scenes, right? Some executive comes down and be like, "Hey, we saw the trailer that you're gonna post for Gamescom or something like that, or around this time. We want you to change this real quick," or something like that, right? Or we want you to show more of this instead of this, right? We want to sell it on the narrative or whatever. We never know. But again, based on what we saw in this trailer, it doesn't. It needs to sell us on more than what was shown, basically. I was just gonna say
the trailer is very they cut a lot of stuff off. Like they're purposely doing like a quest, and I don't know if it's just because they're not trying to show the open world, but again, that could be a thing. Maybe they're just like, oh, we don't want to show the open world because it's not as full as people are gonna hope it is. But it is a very like choppy trailer where like they're right next to the objective of whatever they're trying to do. Like she's already making it to the spot where like that's where all the enemies are gonna be at, or whatever the case may be. So that could be the case too. But like I don't know. I'm always in the camp of like, they didn't show me from starting location to ending location, so I've like it just cut me from where it started to like I'm now 2 seconds away from the destination of where my quest is at, so I have no clue. Like in the one clip, she literally runs up the rock, like to show like some traversal, and then it's done. Like of course in that quick second you're like there's nothing there, but it's already with her fighting and showing off her combat. So like I don't know. I think I'm in the camp where like I still agree with a lot of the points that we've said here. I just think it's like it's one of those like I definitely need to see more of it. But from what I've seen now versus what I saw months ago or even last year, it's like this looks so much more appealing to me now. And so far, I think the biggest thing for me it is the combat. And I know like we've kind of just said the combat's really cool, but like you're doing some dope ass stuff with this combat. I mean, we're seeing her mix and match different types of spells, which is like some cool thing that I don't think I've ever seen before. Unless I can't even think of a game top of my head where I've done something like this. Like this is giving me Avatar The Last Airbender vibes. And so like this is the shit that I like. So like I'm like, yo, this looks dope. Like this wasn't shown before. And if that's what the main focus of this trailer was to show you combat, because this is like the main thing I feel like you watched all trailer was the combat. And that's what I wanted to see. I want to see what the hell she does, but like she's doing some really cool stuff. But there's no denying, I don't think that like we talked about the character models; they look questionable. The dialogue stuff, there's like I don't think the writing is going to be anything crazy. Like it's like no surprise. Like
it's
this
a
isn't
Square
like
Enix game, dude. The writing
craziest
has always
story, right? Like I mean, like the story premise already that we know is that she just gets brought into this fantasy world and she's trying to figure out what her purpose is here. Like, okay, we've seen stuff like that happen. I've watched Narnia. I know how that works. She's probably going to be like, she's going to belong to like her dad or her parents, probably like, or her mom or dad is going to be like probably a royal queen or something like that. Like she's going to have some lineage tie. And like, we've seen this done so many times. So I think for me, expectation wise, I'm not going crazy thinking this is gonna be something crazy, but I guess if there's something that it needs to show me that makes it feel like it stands out, the combat looks freaking sick. And so I think that's just where I stand from it. I think is like, okay, I got to see more of it. But so far what I'm seeing now is so much better than what I saw before that this is good. I'm glad maybe they're taking more time on purpose because they're like they saw people like Chin put up the video and was like, oh man, we gotta fill up this open world more. Maybe we're gonna get more fill in by like next year, which is they have months. This is gonna come out, I think. Oh my god, this had so many release dates. I lost track. But more recently it was gonna be like next month, I think.
Isn't it March is now the new release date or something like that?
It's January. It's January, but it was supposed to come out like beginning. It was gonna come out I think like the beginning of this year and then got pushed back to like October, and then it got pushed back again, and it's just like, okay, but I'm glad they're doing it because they obviously wanted this to do somewhat successful and everything. So I don't know. I think I'm in the camp where I'm not gonna call it mid just yet. I'm more happy that the stuff that they keep showing is progressively getting better and better and better. So I'm excited to see one more trailer because I'm already kind of sold. Like I'm ready to pick this up on day one and give it a shot. But I know this isn't gonna be some crazy ass game. I'm just excited for some cool ass spell casting.
There you go.
For me.
My thing is too is that I'm very happy to be proved wrong. Like I'd love to because
Yeah, same.
Really
I
cool.
agree with that.
And I say that in the video, like right at the end, which clearly people didn't get to. But
Shocker.
That happens. That's YouTube videos, man.
that's YouTube. They're like, oh, he said something bad. Get new glasses. That one's so funny to me.
That's crazy.
Because
I love that.
People are ruthless,
I do
man.
need new glasses.
They're
I'm not
right.
gonna lie.
He does
People are
need new
ruthless.
glasses.
I need new glasses. That was good. But yeah, I absolutely. It's just not something that I'm willing to be like, prove me wrong. Here's $70. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna wait till Lethal does the review for us, and then I'm gonna see what the go ahead on this game is. Or maybe my buddy's gonna be really excited and he'll buy it himself and we game share, so I'll get it. But who's to say? Who's to say?
Again,
That's their own version of Game Pass.
and I hope that when people watch the video and everything, that obviously you're gonna have your people just come and be like, oh, you're blatantly hating and everything like that. Like within 5 to 10 seconds of the video starting, Chin says like, hey, combat looks amazing and everything like that, right? And this looks, and the
Straight up say,
traversal
I don't
looks
think
really
this
fun.
game looks bad.
Yeah,
or that it
and
is
that's
bad.
the thing. So again, and the internet always likes drama and everything like that. But again, if we get proven wrong on the aspects of the game that we think are kind of like, let's come on, show us a little bit more type of thing. Awesome, completely awesome. Anyone who thinks we want games to fail, we're gamers. We don't want any game to fail.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though I talk a lot of shit about Microsoft and Xbox, I would love them to come out next year
Swinging.
and like blow my face off.
Exactly.
Like really,
because
just,
you know what that
like,
does.
let Starfield be good. Let
that's
Redfall be good.
competition, which then makes Sony keep the pace up and keep going and everything like that, right? Without
And
without
lower
that
their
competition,
prices.
they're gonna get lazy. They're gonna get
You're gonna
egotistical.
overcharge for a console.
That too. Right? They're gonna get egotistical. They're gonna be able to do exactly what they want. I mean, remember the whole cross-platform gaming where Sony was not budging on it at all until they finally did at the very end?
The power of
Their
Fortnite, by
PS2
the way.
as the best-selling console, they had the audacity to sell the PS3 for like $600.
Yeah, remember
No.
those? Remember those dark days? And that
The
was
dark days. The dark.
And then the Wii came out.
Yeah.
And the Switch
360,
and the 3DS. Like
everything just destroyed the PS3 that
Yeah,
generation.
it did absolutely destroy
no,
it.
PS3 ended up selling more than Xbox by the end because of the red ring and the reputation Xbox got.
Insane, because everyone I knew had an Xbox. That's wild.
I know.
Yep.
But everyone you knew also probably had a broken Xbox by the end.
I had at least 5
So-
friends that all
Yeah,
had
so
that all got the red ring
I had
eventually.
every one of my
Yeah.
friends had
I got
one.
lucky. I never had.
I
it.
had 2
God bless.
die. I've never bought an Xbox
It's because
console
you're
since, and I won't.
It's because you're a Microsoft fanboy under those that.
Yo, I
glowing
mean,
exterior.
listen,
They
there
do.
was a point where the boys only had Xbox. I wanted to.
He's
play,
wearing
I wanted
those
to hang out and play
Microsoft
Call of Duty,
headphones
bro.
right now,
I wanted to do it, but that was also like a problem back then too. Is like, I don't know. I mean, God bless that we have crossplay now because
Yeah.
at
That's
least
really
at
nice.
least we're starting to get to like. I know some games still don't have it, which is kind of pathetic. But like, I'm glad that we're in the era of crossplay because like that was a big problem for me back then. Like, if my friends only had Xbox and I had PlayStation, I was like, oof, like that was a big issue. So I had to go for I think that gen.
Some don't even have cross-gen when they come out on both generations.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, that's why I never beat Dying Light 2. That's why I actually fell off that game because I was just like, dude, I can't play with my buddy that I bought the game for because he has a PS4. Like, and I'm like, this is why?
Mhm.
Why would you lock out cross-gen? Of all things, that is bad.
That's weird.
Bad,
Yeah.
bad, bad.
It's I mean, some of it has to do with like the architecture is different between PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5.
The thing
I'm
is,
not
they
saying
make
it's
out the
okay.
data.
Well, yeah, but if it was, I mean, do you remember when crossplay happened with PC and next gen consoles? It was bad. It was real bad.
They still haven't fixed it.
I don't think
No,
they have fixed it. I think they deactivated it. They're like, you can't do that anymore because we can't fix it. So that's, Dying Light 2 was a far cry from Dying Light 1, in my opinion. But
Yep. The more I played it,
Anyway.
I felt the same way.
All right.
Moving on.
Why don't we go to the final game from Gamescom, and then we got one more thing to talk about after that. But the next thing we can talk about is not that one. This one.
there we go.
Oh,
Sonic.
I don't know anything
Hey.
about this.
Yeah. So
Sonic Frontiers.
So two things for those who don't know. So first off, when I believe it was IGN that started doing this like exclusive look at the different aspects of the game and everything like that. One day they had a very basic trailer Then it was like 3 days later, they had another trailer that showed off combats. And then they had another trailer after that, which is the final one that kind of like brought them together. And the very first trailer, that the exclusive IGN one, not the CGI, you know, trailer from a couple of years ago, everyone was just like, what the F is this game? Like, what is this? Like, nothing in the open world. Like, because they're touting this as an open world Sonic game. Nothing was in it. Absolutely nothing, right? Then the combat one came out. And a few people, you know, and some people were kind of like, okay, I kind of get it. But at the same time, still a lot of people are kind of like, what the F is this? Then the two came together and showed off a couple of the actual more classic Sonic levels, like where he goes through a portal and then he's in like this multi highway, like, you know,
like the Sonic Adventure style.
Sonic Adventure style type of levels. And everyone's like, okay, see, this is what we wanted to see. Why would you start off with the garbage and then show us this good stuff, right? And now at Gamescom, they actually had a pretty good trailer where it showed off everything. It showed the combat. It showed multiple different classic Sonic levels, both 3D and 2D, right? Even a classic Green Hill, if I remember correctly, right? And then some weird cutscene where he sees some creature in some kind of orb thing or something like that. And then it shows off the combat, which to me, the combat is still kind of whatever. Sonic's never really been about that in my personal opinion, but whatever. But regardless, it just shows that if they had shown the good stuff at the beginning, why would you show the bad stuff at the, you know, and all that? So it's
keep expectations low so you can pleasantly surprise
dude, I've been doing that for the last
it's a great strategy,
I've been doing that for the last 7 to 8 years, dude. I'm just like, nah, keep my expectations low. And then when it finally comes out, I'll be like, okay, that looks good, I'll buy it. That's all I'll do.
I thought you meant about yourself when you like introduce people. Yeah, I make sure people have this low expectation of me, and then they find out it's amazing.
Oh my god!
I think Chin really does need those new glasses, and apparently he needs new ears now.
Oh, ears.
No. The context.
That's funny.
Someone go to his Forspoken video, make that comment right now. I think someone needs new ears, man.
Kid needs new ears. Hashtag get new glasses.
There you go. But I mean,
dialogue is peak fiction.
But regardless, right? It just shows that now more and more people are talking about it. So that's really good for the game, at least. Second thing, though, that release dates. What is Sega thinking?
They are thinking they have the schlong of champions, I guess, because that is a move.
They said they were like really confident in this game. They were like they wanted to like score high. They were like they were so adamant about not pushing it back because one of the big blowbacks that people like they were getting where people were saying like, please delay this game. And I remember like they were coming out and being like, no, like we're confident in this game. Like this is gonna drop when we say like it's gonna drop and for this year because we planned for it to drop this year. And they stuck to what
I like that because I really liked what I saw in this Gamescom trailer. I was like, you know what, this looks all right. And then the date popped up, and I was like, oh, like okay, you guys. But you got to think too. Like the audience for Sonic versus obviously the elephant in the room, God of War, is pretty different, especially God of War, being the sequel to God of War 2018, which is already a very matured take on Kratos' story, right? God of War is obviously for people who are older than the Sonic fan base, right? I mean, look at Iron Cane. He's like 12. He's a big Sonic fan. And that's who they're aiming at. I love you, Iron Cane. But no, like the Sonic fan base is different than the God of War fan base, and the fact that they're going, we're confident, we don't care, we know what day it is. That to me, that again, BD energy, you know, like.
I'll actually tell you why it's more bold than God of War, because Pokemon is in the same month.
I think that's definitely the bigger. That's like
and
the bigger,
Starfield was
sure.
supposed to be that original month as well. Remember, Starfield's original release date was supposed to be in there as well. Like
Starfield and Sonic fan bases have zero crossover.
No, I know. I'm just saying though, if you're somebody who has like a console, right, and you're just like, I get the best game for my dollar or something like that, right? But maybe you can only buy one game, like. Pokemon. I don't know. This will be interesting because I feel like
I'm taking Sonic 10 out of 10 times because I already own No Man's Sky. That's me personally,
think-
but
I don't want to say Sonic's gonna fail. I actually think, again, I agree 100% with Bobby that the more and more these trailers have come out, they have looked better. They should have started like that from the beginning, not the crap that we saw back in June. But my thing though is that if you think about it, Sonic is not really known in the younger generations. I feel maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the movies helped with that to kind of get Sonic's name back out there and everything, which 100% could have.
Yeah.
But I feel
yes,
like
they did.
I feel like a
definitely did,
majority
yeah.
of people
Yes,
who
they
like
did.
Sonic or know Sonic are our age, actually, because remember the old classic 2D Sonic games, hence Iron Cane, right? I mean, and
Yeah.
he literally reviewed.
Iron Cane's 12.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
that's true too. But
Iron Cane lore for you, right?
I don't know.
there.
It'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how well this does, right? Because like, isn't the 8th like a Monday or something like that? If I remember
It's a
correctly.
Tuesday.
It is a
Because God of
Tuesday,
War is a
which
Wednesday.
that makes more
God of War's
sense.
day off.
Yeah. So Tuesday's
Hey.
Sonic, right? So look at it this way. Tuesday is Sonic, that's the 8th. Then the 9th is God of War, which is a Wednesday,
Yep.
which is still a weird random day to me, but regardless.
Odin's Day.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, it's Odin's Day,
Yep.
so that's why they're doing it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Should've done it
And
on Leif
then what,
Erikson's
a
day.
week later on Friday, the 18th is when Pokemon comes out, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to guess, right, they don't care about God of War, like Bobby said, right? God of War, completely different audience compared to a Sonic game, but Sonic is definitely tailored, I think, more towards kids, right? Obviously, adults are gonna buy it and everything, but it is more tailored towards kids. What else is tailored towards kids the following week of that, though?
Yeah,
Pokemon.
that's true.
Pokemon.
But it's a week after.
It
so-
is. It is.
It
But
is.
if let's say you're a kid though, right? You saved up your money and you can only pick one game, Pokemon or Sonic. Which one are you gonna pick?
Right,
It really depends because it's like Pokemon is going to be open world RPG,
Right.
and some kids don't dig that, right? Versus
Yeah.
Sonic is going to be open world like action adventure,
Right. Mhm.
right? So
That is definitely true. Yeah.
I think you see a split. I definitely see Pokemon outselling Sonic by a minimum of 3 times,
Oh,
guaranteed.
Easily.
It-
It's
it will,
Pokemon. It's
yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't think Sonic is going to do bad, and I think Sonic's actually going to do better than it might normally, because Sonic is still geared towards kids, and a lot of kids do know Sonic. Because while we may be like, well, you know, we haven't really seen any good Sonic in years, Sonic has still come out consistently and still has those fans who are kids, because every few years there is a mainline Sonic game. Right, there's like Colors and Unleashed and all these other Sonic games that have
And then
come
the mo-
out that
and then
we
the
might
movies
not
have
have paid
come out.
attention to.
I think
And
the
then the
movies.
movies
I think the
recently-
I mean,
movies
listen,
have helped
if
a
they
lot.
drop a trailer for Sonic, what, 3 now? Yeah, if they drop a
Yeah.
trailer, because everybody confirmed the movie's happening. So if they
Yeah.
drop a trailer in November, right to coincide right next to that release, dog, that's pushing sales.
That
And
will
not
push
just that,
sales.
also they most likely are dropping it at this point anyways, because they also at this time frame is because they also have like that's like the big holiday season, right? Black Friday is like the week after Pokemon, so like
Yeah.
that's another thing. They want it. They want to hit that time. They want to hit that
Yep,
time right
that
there too.
window.
So
Yep.
it's gonna sell like hotcakes regardless. But I think there's not gonna be any issues with it. I think it's gonna sell like crazy. I think the Sonic movies push Sonic to be like this crazy thing. I think a lot of kids, in my opinion, a lot of kids know about it now because like all my little cousins, they all know what Sonic
They
is
all
because of the
know.
movies. Yeah,
Exactly.
they're all like, oh yeah, the movie. I'm like, damn, you missed a generation of the games, dog. But that's okay.
And the other
That's
thing
okay.
is-
That's okay. You get the movies.
The other thing is, think about those movies having come out and all the kids know about them. If the parents aren't gamers and they don't have that nostalgic tie to Pokemon when they're trying to get their kids into Pokemon, they know that their kid has talked about Sonic, right?
true.
Because they
Yeah.
like the Sonic movie and they go, oh, there's a new Sonic video game coming out, and you know, Jimmy owns a Switch and it comes out on Switch. Yeah, we'll get that for him for Christmas on Black Friday.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the little advantages that Sonic has, is like those movie tie-ins, especially. It's just like you said, Lethal. Like so many kids know Sonic now because of that, right?
Well, and it's
Yeah.
on
And
every
this-
console, right? It's on Switch, it's on
I
PS4,
was just gonna say
PS5,
that.
Xbox,
It's dropping
Xbox.
on every platform.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna help
Everything.
it out
I
a
don't know how the
lot
Switch
too.
is gonna
Yep.
handle that, but yeah.
I don't
Same
even
way it handled Breath of the Wild, man, and Xenoblade.
Yeah.
It'll do it
That needs an upgrade.
somehow.
Uh,
It needs an upgrade. We're not discussing that, Talon. We've already all said that.
We've broken the record on
50 times.
discussing that. So
Yes.
anyway, regardless, though, let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. Though, if you're watching this later or if you're live with us right now, what are your thoughts on Sonic? Do you think it's gonna do well? Do you think it's gonna do bad? Let's know your thoughts. So, all All right, so in terms of Gamescom information, that's basically everything, like the big main stuff that was talked about. Obviously, they had a bunch of indie games and a bunch of other stuff that was talked about as well. But it was stuff that we've seen either at E3 or we've already known about for a while. I mean, they even showed off a few games that have been out already, but it's just simply coming to a different platform now. So it's kind of like, okay, well, we've talked about that game for 2 years now. The last thing that we want to talk about that was kind of brought along with Gamescom, it wasn't announced at Gamescom because that would have been a really stupid move. But it was announced or talked about during the week of Gamescom. So we figured it would be the last topic we can talk about as we end this podcast. And that is going to be the PlayStation price hike. If you guys don't know the details of it, go check out Bobby's video. It's in the channel. But PlayStation 5, kind of hard to still find these days, right? We all got super lucky when it came to whether the release or me finding it at a random game store in Japan, and I literally showed you guys the box on like our second podcast or something like that. All of a sudden now he
didn't say this, chat, but he did beat an old lady for that thing. So he didn't say it on the he didn't say it on the podcast, but he told us after.
Bobby, come on, I told you I could go to jail for that. God. Anyway, regardless though, they're now increasing the price of the PlayStation 5, both the disc and the discless version of the console, when it's still hard to find these days. Which, if you think about it, the console's already 2 years old. Both Xbox and Nintendo have come out saying, no, we're not going to raise the prices for it. Granted, Switch uses completely different technology than the PlayStation 5, so no one's really competing for that. But the Xbox is. The Xbox and the PlayStation 5 under the hood, for the most part, it's give or take the same system, right? Same type of CPU power level and everything like that. Obviously there's some differences in there, I know, with teraflops and all that. But regardless, for the most part, it's kind of the same system for the most part, right? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why they're doing this. They if you look at their original statement on the PlayStation blog, it just screams CEO, business talk essentially, right? About inflation and everything. It's like, dude, no shit. Everything is going up in price with inflation these days. You don't have to, though. You are choosing to. Is basically what's happening. And I've seen a lot of comments, whether it's on Twitter, on YouTube videos and everything, talking about how, what's the CEO's name? Jim Ryan. Like, they're just like, dude, ever since he's been in, and they're talking about like how he needs to go and everything. He's been making some weird decisions the last few years. I've seen nothing but negativity from this, essentially. And aside from your true fanboys who are like, they need to do it or something like that, or it's only this much in terms of price increasing or something. It's like, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it increases by $5, right? It's the fact that it's happening to a 2-year-old system that is still really hard to find for a lot of people. And it's just like, why? You are choosing to contribute to the inflation thing. You're Sony. You make billions of dollars a year, and yet you're choosing to increase the price on this. So that's what's going on right now. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
That's my thoughts on it.
It's just like, nah, you missed it.
It's like I have nothing else to add to it.
It is a bad move. It is a bad move. Yeah. I said it in the video I made. Sony, like I am a Sony pony, a fanboy, whatever you want to call it. We've had PlayStations since Chin was born. For 25 years I've had PlayStations. Okay. I love PlayStation. I've also had Nintendos. I had a 360, right? But I love PlayStation, right? Almost as much as I love Nintendo, because Zelda and Pokemon, man, and Mario. But PlayStation is so good, but this is the worst decision I think I've ever seen a company make. Even if they backtrack now, they already put it out there. It's kind of like Xbox with the Kinect when Xbox One came out, and they were like, you need to have the Kinect and it has to be on. It's out there now. Like, oh, and you always have to be online in the DRM, right? All that. This is out there now. This is a 2-year-old console. This is when prices should come down by like $50.
Yep.
Historically.
Yep.
And they're going, we're raising the prices. Now, the one thing I did say is there has been a rumor that Microsoft has paid for chip priority since the launch of these consoles, right? And if that's really affecting Sony that bad, that sucks. But Sony, it should suck for you, not for the consumer. Like, you guys make billions of dollars. You know how many times I've bought The Last of Us? This is 5. The one I'm getting is my 5th copy, right? People buy multiple copies of your games over different generations. They pay for your online services. They buy multiple consoles for their households, right?
Plus, you said in your video that they're making money back
they're making
on it.
profit.
They're making
They
profit
said that
on
after 6 months.
Yeah, this is a console, right? Most consoles do not make profits. They lose money on these things. It's the subscriptions, the games and everything. Microsoft has literally come out and said, we still lose money on the Xbox Series X and S to this day. It's Games Pass that is making us our money, right?
And even then, they're not making that much money with Game Pass, but they're a $2 trillion company, so they can kind of eat the loss easier than anyone else.
Sony, okay, fine. Billions of trillions. It may look like a big difference, but guess what? 99% of us don't even know what $1 billion is like. $1 billion.
You say that, Tallen, but think about it this way: what Sony's worth? Would you say, Chin? It's 110 billion or something?
Like
120
or something like that.
17 billion is what Sony's worth, or is that SIE?
17.
100. So let's say PlayStation's worth 120 billion dollars. We're gonna call it that. Microsoft's like a $2 trillion company.
Yep.
So that means they're worth 20. No.
Nearly 20 times.
Yeah, nearly 20 times what
20 times.
PlayStation worth. So yeah, they can go like, we'll just burn the money.
Yeah.
Right. And I get PlayStation.
Still so much.
It is. And I get that PlayStation might be like, well, we're losing our profits that we're making, but it's like, suck it up.
Well, I think they already raised the price of the games, remember? And that was the big topic of conversation. Like, whoa, Sony is pushing for the $70 games. And like, you kind of would have thought like that was already them kind of having that like dickish kind of move or whatever. So like, it is what it is. Like the price, I think everybody kind of like accepted like, okay, maybe just the price of making games is just a lot higher now.
It wasn't just Sony though. EA did it. Others did it as well.
I think eventually a lot of people kind of went on because I could have sworn it was more like it's a big PlayStation thing at first. It was like, whoa, they're doing their PlayStation first party studio games.
Yeah,
like,
it was the first party. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then everybody else was like, oh, EA was like, well, we can get away with this, right? Because they're getting away with it. And so everybody else started doing it too. So
here's the thing about game dev and games $60 versus $70, right? Everyone's going, oh, Sony's the only company greedy enough to raise their game prices to $70. $70 for a game, I can accept that all day, every day, because game dev is so much more expensive than it was in the past. You know how much Super Nintendo games cost? They cost $60. That was 30 years ago. Like, and if you think inflation and the price of making games, how much did Red Dead cost to make? $500 million, right? $500 million to make Red Dead 2. That's a lot of money. If you want to charge $10 extra because you're spending that kind of money and all that time, like, I understand that. I get that. Raising a price on a console that you've already said you're making profit off of, that, it's not getting any easier to make, but like, then you don't drop the price. Say, hey, normally we would drop our price around now. Unfortunately, we can't, but we're doing our best. They did say, hey, we are trying to get as many as we can out there. What I wish they would have at least said is like, hey, we're doing this right now, but we guarantee you that the price is going to come down in the future. Right? Now, that does create a problem because
I don't know if they want
less people, less people are going to buy it, knowing it's going to go down. But if you want it now, you're going to pay that premium, right? If you want it now, it's just like, like DoorDash. I could drive to Jack in the Box, or I could pay someone, the $6 to deliver it to my house.
I was gonna say too, like what they could have done too is like you could have like enticed that deal a bit, like, or it's not really a deal, but you could have made that sound a lot better. Like we just kind of talked about how the PlayStation blog post was just like, yo, we're raising the price, right? It's due to inflation, it's due to the the state of the world right now and everything. But you could have maybe changed the narrative a bit and been like, oh, like we're now offering at this price, but you're gonna get like 6 months of the new PS Plus Premium or something. Like that's stuff that they could toss in there, right? I mean, I don't know if you want to toss in the game. Maybe, but I mean, you just launched your first ever, big time subscription, not first ever, but like this is like a big push for them going into the subscription model. Like you're really just starting to push that now. Like you could have taken an opportunity if you were going to raise this and maybe just give people like 3 months of it or 6 months of it or something. Maybe even toss in a year if you want to, whatever. But if there's ways that they could have pushed this narrative so much better, way better if they were trying to actually care. But it's like you said, it's the Jim Ryan shit move.
If they were raising the prices and they had gone like, hey, everybody, we're not offering a standard PS PS5 anymore. We're offering everything is a bundle now.
Bundle. Yep.
Everything is a bundle, and it's going to include 1 year of PS Premium, but the price is going to go up by like equivalent of $40 US, right? Easy to turn that as a win. Be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we're not offering the console alone anymore. You have to get PlayStation Plus, but we feel so strongly about this subscription service, and we're trying to offer it to you at a discount for your first year that we feel like you're going to feel like it's worth it. You get to play all these Vita games, these PS3 games, PS4 games, PS5 games. You could have spun it like that and given, like, kind of throwing the customer a bone. You're absolutely right, Lethal. That is 100% what they should have done. Like, also, just to add to like the fanboy shit, gotta stop. Like when I say that, I mean, like, we joke, like, we're talking about how, like, oh, maybe they're doing it to, like, so they can lower the price of like the PSVR 2 or something like that. But like, that's all jokes. But the truth is, like, you don't justify these things. Like, I feel like I see that way too often with the tribalism with console warring right now. There's so many big PlayStation fans who are like, no, like, that's justifiable, like, that's okay. And it's like, why are you doing that? Like, stop supporting mega corporations to do moves like these, because they make money, right? Chin just gave us the numbers. Like, they make money. They make plenty of money. Don't forget that Sony is not just a gaming division. They're far from that. They have so much more that they do, right? So it's kind of like they're making money. It's just, this is something that they really shouldn't have done, and I don't know. It sucks. It's one of those things where it sucks. I hope this turns into like an Xbox situation, when Xbox. Remember when they were gonna, like, what was it? They were gonna stop games with gold. I think it was. They were gonna force people to have to, like, pay the yearly price rather than monthly price or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that,
and then they remember they changed their mind a week later. They were like, a week later they came back like, listen, we listened to you guys. And this wasn't the right move. We apologize. Like, I hope PlayStation does something like this, because, and the thing is, they have been doing stuff like that. When they dropped the ball with the upgrade paths for games going from PS4 to PS5, remember they switched back. Jim Ryan actually switched back and was like, okay, this is, I think, for Horizon. People were getting a lot. They were getting a lot of shit for that. So, like, I hope this is something where they flip the narrative and kind of be like, okay, because this is the type of move that can do lots of damage and can really now put you from being this first place spot in the market to like second or third. Like, you got to be careful. These types of moves, I feel like, have really big consequences. And the only thing I would say saving Sony right now is that, look, like, Xbox and PlayStation, we joke a lot. It's like Lethal said, PlayStation has games. Xbox right now doesn't have games. And the other thing is, like, especially with the DualSense, PlayStation really feels more next gen, right? Because that controller, it seems like such a weird thing if you haven't played with one, chat. But when you actually sit there and play with the DualSense, and you can feel like the rain in a game through your hands. When you, like, hit a trigger on a bow and you have to hit it and then pull it, like, and it requires more force. Right, that is so cool, and that's such like that to me. The DualSense is such like a premium part of the PS5 that, like, they probably feel like, hey, we're more premium, so we can charge more. But I still think, like, you're asking for people to go, you know what? Then just forget it. I'll go with the competitor. That's why I said the fanboys need to, like, relax, because, like, they read that stuff. Like, they have an expert who's out there looking and being like, hey, people are supporting this. Like, we can get away with this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're doing stuff like that. Like, there's a whole team for stuff like that. So, like, I do think people really need to calm down. And I think one thing I get scared of, which I mentioned before, is that, like, dude, all it takes is this week for them to announce a PlayStation Showcase event. And guess what? We're all going to forget about this. Everyone's going to forget. Because then we're all going to be like, oh my God, Spider-Man 2. Like, screw it. I'll pay $50 more for a PS5. You know, like, exactly. That's what's going to happen. It's a sad truth, but that is what's going to happen. And it sucks. It really sucks. Wanted to bring this up because you brought up the showcase earlier, but I didn't want to get there until we got here where we're talking about this price increase. But you're absolutely right. What's going to happen is right now they're getting a lot of smoke for why are you the only people increasing prices, and what's going to happen is in like a week we're going to get a PlayStation Direct, and they're going to have like the last trailer for God of War, they're going to have the first trailer for Spider-Man 2, or the second trailer, right? The first thing was like a little teaser, right? They might have like the first teaser for Wolverine, and everyone's going to lose their shit. Right, this is a big showcase. So, like, we're going to get the heavy announcements. You're talking first party, like, straight up. We're going to get hit with launch of stuff. So yeah, that's how they're gonna do it. It's straight up. That's what they're gonna do. They're smart. They know what they're doing. But that's why I said, like, Sony fanboys need to relax because they're gonna get away with it too.
I'm a fanboy myself, but at the same time, I go, no, eat the cost. This is not okay.
Yeah,
like I will 100%.
Well, also, the reason they're doing it too is because remember, it's not affecting us in the U.S. So that's why they're gonna get away with it, because they have an ungodly amount of the market share in the areas that they increase the price in.
Yeah, true.
So like they know that they can do it there because they're like, we already have such big market. People are going to pay this because they just don't care for Microsoft around here.
Yep.
Why would you do that when that's just going to turn people to be like, well, maybe I should consider Microsoft? You know, I usually go with Sony, you know, if someone who lives in like UK or something, but
realistically, if you look at it now is the best possible time when you're making that kind of announcement. Now is the best possible time because it's just like Lethal said, Xbox, where are the games? Right,
and that's where they fumbled, man. That's crazy. I feel like also Sony so like knows that like they have nothing to really counter. Like, what is Xbox gonna say? They have nothing to say. So like, I feel like that's like, it's like they can kind of get away with this stuff. I mean, sure, you can announce more day one Game Pass stuff, but like, I'm telling you, the Xbox fans, even they're getting tired of that shit. They're like, listen, this is cool and all, but like, yo, where's my first party stuff? Because like, I want to play something crazy. So like
Forza was great, right? And then Halo. And then they haven't had anything since Halo. Like it's literally 3 months away from being a year, and then after that they don't have anything for at least another 3 months. Like they're gonna, we talked about this before. Microsoft is in such a weak spot right now. They're gonna go 18 months without a major first-party title, which is insane. I've never heard of that before from anybody. Like, and so Sony making this move, it's a bad move, but they can still go, hey, at least you've got games over here, I guess. Right? Is what they're thinking.
It's right around the corner.
God of War.
No, when they drop that trailer, that's what I'm saying. Like, people are just gonna forget about it. People are gonna be so excited. Like,
dude, it's God of War. It's Spider-Man 2.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, and whatever else they have, like, just they can crank out with all these acquisitions they've had in the last couple years. Maybe if they have a project with Bungie on the horizon that they're like, hey, like
they do,
you know,
and they just spent like $3.3 billion to acquire them.
Dude,
I mean, geez,
they bought Bungie for a reason.
Yep.
You know, if they come out with a new Resistance, dude, or they come out with Metal Gear Solid, or they come out with more Silent Hill stuff, like, and they're like, boom.
Well, and the thing is, the main reason they bought Bungie is because they want to improve their live service stuff, right? And hate it or love it, Destiny, which is Bungie's main IP right now, is one of the top live service games in the industry.
It's the only one that competes with Fortnite.
It is.
Which is crazy.
Right? So Sony knows that. And so they're bringing Bungie on and like, okay, fine, you can keep Destiny and do your thing, you know, because they even said, you know, Destiny's going to stay on all the platforms and everything like that. Dropped the last gen though after Final Shape, just saying. But then they're going to take some of the heads or talk with them or collaborate with them to help Sony make some live service thing, right? Whether it's a first-person shooter. I mean, there's even been Bungie like job openings for some kind of new multiplayer only live service game that they want to make, right? And then Sony's gonna want
an Overwatch, I think.
Right, exactly. And then Sony wants to do some live service thing that they're trying to plan and everything, and they have Bungie to be there and be like, do this, don't do this, and it's gonna rake it even more money for them. So I don't. Again, this whole price hike is just like, why? You guys make billions. Like, it's just
you have a new subscription service that's probably making you money.
When you look at it, it's just it's greed. It's essentially what it is.
It's getting to the point where like people are afraid they're getting back to the PS3 era, and PS3 is where like, you know, shit hit the fan and they messed up big time.
Right. Exactly.
So I think people are like, oh no, like you're getting to that point. Don't get cocky. Don't feel
their
like
their egos are inflating. The egos are going like this right now. Yes, they absolutely are. So. Anyway,
the PS5 is such a great console.
It is. It's a very fun console, actually. I enjoy playing my PS5 every week. But again,
my PS5 more than my PC, like way more.
Yeah, but when I see this, I'm just like, Sony, what the F are you doing? What seriously? What is there some executive? Is there some person on the board that's, you know, some cocky SOB and it's just like, no, do this. do this, and like they have
I
the
don't know
power
if
to do
this
that.
rumor's true, but I heard that Sony had like price increases like company wide. So
Wide, oh.
like company wide, like their TVs, like everything that they create,
could be.
produce, they sell has gone up. So people are wondering that it's not a Jim Ryan issue, that it's actually like Sony itself.
Like
is the
Sony,
reason for everything going
Sony,
up.
like the
It could be.
It
You
could
never
be.
know.
And don't get us wrong, like other places are also raising their prices too. Like inflation is a serious thing. Like there is a, there is a real problem. That's the thing. It's like we're saying all this stuff, like there is a real global problem right now. Like that's that's a serious thing. Like even Apple's rumored for the next iPhone to be like way more now. So like you're gonna start seeing this a lot of places. So like I don't know if it's one of the things where you kind of just have to like, I don't know. Like, it's just a thing where you accept this is the world that we're in. But like, there's a point where like these companies, like we said before, they can't eat some of that. So like, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's.
I hate to play. I don't want to play devil's advocate because it's a terrible choice, but this could have been the compromise, to be like, we can't increase too many things for the gamers. We can't increase like, we can't maybe increase our controllers. Like we can't increase like our third party products, but if we just increase the console a bit, to me, it's still a bad decision either way. But they were just so vague about it. They were just like, yep, price increase. Here you go. That's it. Just dropped it. They dropped it like a sub tweet.
Yeah, that's literally what they did.
It was like Rockstar dropping that they were dropping support for Red Dead Online. Like it was just there. I'm like, pain.
Oh.
Bad.
All right. I think with that being said, though, why don't we go ahead and wrap up the podcast here? So for everyone who is here with us live, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Waypoint podcast. If you are watching this in video form, thank you so much for enjoying the video. If you happen to enjoy it, please leave a like and sub to the channel if you happen to be new. Every single time somebody subs and likes, we really do appreciate it. It helps us reach our next goal. We're almost at 2K subs. So thank you so much for that awesome support.
What's that we got a comment though.
Oh, okay.
Last minute question. Elite Dangerous Hades missed NBA 2K22 signed to the Sojourner? Spiritfarer 12 minutes 2-point hospital. What remains of Edith Finch World War Z? Are these games really being removed on game?
Yes, they are, Dan. Yes.
I think I heard that. Yeah, I think they are.
Game Pass contracts tend to go for about 1 year. They can be renewed if the company decides to renew them. What's likely happening is that these companies have decided that the money they got from Microsoft did not outdo the sales that they would have gotten otherwise. So they're probably hoping now they can put these back as sales, especially like Hades. Hades was huge, right?
Yes.
And Spiritfarer was pretty big too. They can get those sales, and those sales will make or will make them kind of run better in the long run versus like a flat payout of like 300,000 from Xbox, where they go, oh, we'd have made 450, 500,000 if we had actually sold the game on Xbox, right?
Right.
So no problem, Dan. We got you, man.
Yeah,
That's what
Dan,
we're
we're
here
happy
for.
to respond, man.
Reminder though that like Game Pass games, they're not gonna stay on there forever. Like just keep that in the back of your mind too.
Microsoft's will
You're basically
probably-
like renting a lot of these games, so just really keep that in mind.
First
if you see a
party
game
games
go
will
on-
stay there, but third party, it all has to do with contracts and licensing and everything. Like we've even seen this into reasons why we don't get certain remasters or remakes, because there are certain just contracts and this stuff from like 20 years ago. It's like, nope, can't do it. Sorry, type of thing.
Yep.
Right. So it's not unheard of that this is what's happening. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us on the Waypoint podcast. We got head off here. We've been on here for over an hour and a half. Definitely one of our longest podcasts. So thank you so much for everyone that stopped by, though. Listen to your thoughts down below in the comments or in the chat about malarkey about Gamescom, all the games that we talked about. The PlayStation price increase is good, bad. I mean, 90% of people are saying it's bad. And here's a final thought. What are your predictions for September and the Tokyo Game Show? It is in less than 3 weeks. And Tokyo Game Show is one of the big 3 events. We got E3, Gamescom, and Tokyo Game Show. What are you most excited for when it comes to Tokyo Game Show? Listen to your thoughts right now. So anyway, guys, I've been Tallen 59 Direct, joined by the crew, LittleBobby, PlatinumChin, and Lethal. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Johnny.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Brian.
Take it easy, guys.